Hey guys, welcome back. Once again, I'm back talking about forbearance because yesterday, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac both issued a statement addressing some of the concerns that are out there. What happens at the end of the forbearance period, what you should expect as someone going through that process. So that's what we're going to dive in today. I'm actually going to go over that article that is posted on Housing Wire. I'll leave the link to it in the description below, but we'll also look through it here on the computer and go over some of the statements that I'm going to comment on now so that you have the information handy and know where to locate it if you want to access that. Before we get into it, I'm Jeb Smith. I'm a real estate broker here in Southern California, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch. As you guys know, channel's all about real estate, all about mortgage, finance, and trending topics. So if that's of interest to you, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you like this content. So both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac came out yesterday to address concerns, because what happens is a lot of people are going into forbearance, as we've mentioned on several different videos, and are getting different options. Some people are being told that they have to pay the balance, the missed payments from the forbearance in a lump sum, where other people are getting different repayment options and getting structured in different ways and told, hey, at the end of this, there could be a loan modification or what have you. Part of the problem is that the language that Fannie Mae is offering servicers isn't being used, directly, if you were, or verbatim. So these servicers are taking parts of the language that Fannie Mae is giving to servicers, which I mentioned yesterday. So if you're not familiar with that, I'm putting a link below to actual script that Fannie Mae is providing to servicers to use with borrowers. And the problem is the servicers aren't using the exact script, right? They're taking parts of it and using that and not using the whole script, which is leaving people with a lot of questions. So what happens at the end? Do I have to pay this all in one lump sum? Because that's what I agreed to in my initial forbearance period. And what the language came out, or the language that came out yesterday, clarifies is that no homeowner, should be worried about losing their home. First of all. Secondly, they said that no homeowner should expect to have to pay all the payments in one lump sum. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac both issued a statement with regards to this. So what they've clarified, because there's a lot of confusion in the CARES Act, because all it says in the actual CARES Act is that you have to offer people that are going through this pandemic with regard to COVID a forbearance for up to 180 days or up to 12 months, but it doesn't specify what happens at the end of that term. So, some servicers are saying, hey, you've got to pay it all back, while others are saying, no, you'll be offered a payment plan. Well, again, they came out yesterday and said, no, you do not have to pay it all back at one time. They're coming out saying that they're offering payment options, if you will, if you're in a position where you can't pay the lump sum all at one time. So we're actually going to go through that article right now. All right, guys, as I promised. So here is the article directly from Housing Wire, where it addresses Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, basically stating mortgages in forbearance do not need to be paid back all at once. Here's the link up here to the article, which I mentioned I will reference in the description below if you'd like to find the article and read it yourself, because I'm just going to skim over and give you some of the highlights of it, to better help you understand the verbiage, because again, I'm not reading it verbatim, but kind of just ad-libbing it a little bit to give you some of the basic fundamentals of what's going on here. So it does go on to say that borrowers in forbearance will have to repay their missed payments one way or another, but there appears to be a growing number of borrowers who think they have to repay all their missed payments in one lump sum, either because they're confused about their options, which probably, again, isn't the case, or because that's what their mortgage servicer told them. That is more likely the case, because that's what I'm hearing from people that are commenting on videos. They're saying, hey, look, I called my lender. They said they'll give me 3 months. It all has to be paid back in the 4th month, or they'll give me 6 months, but it all has to be paid back in the 7th month. How can I even expect to do that? How does that make sense? Well, that's why Fannie Mae is coming out with this article to help address. Now, while this isn't directly from Fannie Mae, this is from Housing Wire. They're quoting Fannie Mae CEO and Freddie Mac CEO in this article. So it does go on to say that's not actually the case, according to the biggest two sources of mortgage financing in the country. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac each issued a statement Monday, which was yesterday, reiterating that borrowers are not required to repay their missing payments all at once when their forbearance period ends. It talks about the lack of clarity in the CARES Act, which I mentioned in the video, where all they're telling
servicers and lenders is that you need to offer forbearance. They don't go on to say what happens at the end of that, what actually happens at the end of the period, and that's why this again is being addressed. It says that that lack of confusion or that lack of clarity has basically led to confusion among borrowers and servicers, with some servicers apparently telling borrowers that they'll need to repay their missed payments in full when their forbearance period ends. That is an option for repaying the missed payments, but not the only option. We want every homeowner who is struggling because of this pandemic to know they have mortgage options. We do not require a homeowner to repay missed payments all at once at the end of the forbearance plan unless they choose to do so. Again, that was echoed by Freddie Mac CEO as well. And basically what he says is if you are a homeowner seeking forbearance and Freddie Mac owns your loan, you are never required to make up missed payments in a lump sum. There you have it. That should address any concerns you have about that process. It goes on to talk about, what else borrowers can do instead of paying their missed payments back in full, and other options that should include a repayment plan, modification of the loan, etc. So there's the article. Again, I'll link to it below, but I hope that's helpful.
So there you see it. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have both come out and addressed that topic of forbearance and what happens at the end if you're in that situation. Now keep in mind, if you're in forbearance and you don't want to be in forbearance, and you haven't made your April payment, but you're in a position to do so, you can still cancel that forbearance period, make your April payment, and life should be good going forward, right? Your lender shouldn't hit you with any late payments. The forbearance shouldn't affect your credit going forward because it's going to be removed. All is good in the world, and you're able to move on. But if you're somebody that does actually need the forbearance, you're having issues making your payments, then these are the options for you. Make sure you call your lender. Make sure you have those conversations, and don't just expect that they know that you're in a financial hardship and that they're automatically going to push you into forbearance. You need to call. You need to have that conversation. While it's a tough conversation to have, they will work with you and provide you with different options. And now you have a little bit more information on what they should be offering you. So if you're talking to them and they're not offering that, provide reference to different things that Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac has put out there, and hopefully that'll help guide you in your conversation. But if you have additional questions on this, I've done a lot of videos on it. I'm pretty up to date on the topic, so do me a favor, put them in the comments below, reach out to me directly. I'm happy to address them. And as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we'll see you again soon. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.